Hey, greetings everybody. I'm Simon Redfern. I'm CEO of Tosobi and founder of the Open Bank Project. This is Ismail Chaib, our COO. So I'm going to talk to you today about the Open Bank Project. So Open Bank Project is an open source API platform especially built for banks that allows you to connect your core banking system safely to 10,000 fintech developers. We make it easy for banks to partner with fintechs. Now, today, open banking has grown into a global movement, from UK to Australia to Mexico. Obviously, in the EU, we have PSD2, and I'm very proud that we were part of this movement. We started Open Bank Project in 2010 in Berlin. And so now we're seeing that in fact, regulators are, gently asking banks to open up their APIs and data. And actually, it's spreading a little bit to America, right? So we've been fortunate to work recently with Citizens Bank, a large regional bank here in the US. And here we're showing today the Citizens Bank Open API Sandbox built on Open Bank Project technology. Now what we see is the API catalog here. So this is the first place that developers come. They can see all the APIs that are available, so access to accounts, transactions, metadata, payments, and entitlements, and so on. Also, they have SDKs, so software developer kits, which are open source. They can get to them from on GitHub. So developers like this. They feel at home. They've got tools they're familiar to use with. Now, let's pretend for a minute that Ismail here in his t-shirt and shirt is a developer, And he's come to the sandbox and he wants to start using the APIs. So he's going to register an API key to use his application. And while he's doing that, I'll just say a few words about open banking in general. So some of you in the room, you might fear that it's maybe going to be a compliance burden, But open banking really offers ways for banks to scale their partnership efforts and to bring innovations to customers in months rather than years, This is why regulators in the EU and UK, they want open banking because they want to see this increase of innovation and competition in the space. And we think that's a great idea. So maybe Ismail has got his API key, and he's jumped over to the API Explorer. And this is where developers will explore the APIs available to them, And they can zoom down the left-hand side of the screen. They can see 180 APIs from Open Bank Project, and they can try the APIs in the context of their user that they're logged in as. So in a sandbox, like we did for Citizens, we provide dummy data and dummy customer logins, and then Ismail can try a few of the APIs here, so get accounts, and after that he can jump and try and make a payment using another client, the REST client. So this is another tool that developers are familiar using. It returns JSON, and he's using RESTful APIs. Okay, and when he's done the payment, we can jump back and see that the payment is available on another app. Okay, so many apps will connect to these APIs. So developers, they feel at home with these tools. They're open source. They can jump to GitHub. They can use the SDKs. And that's what we did. We made a lot of developers feel at home at the Citizens Bank Challenge that we ran in Boston back in July. We had 100 developers came over the weekend. Some started from scratch. Some came already with ideas. But at the end of the evening on Sunday, they present like some pretty polished apps, And that's great event. But open banking, unfortunately, is not all about fun and innovation events. We need control. We need to be able to monitor and restrict access to the APIs. And that's where the API Manager comes in, another open source tool from Open Bank Project. You can limit API usage. You can turn off customers. You can see the metrics on the API, so which APIs are being used, which are popular by developers. So Today we have over 10,000 developers using Open Bank project APIs, and these are all potential partners that you can work with. I mean, maybe you've undoubtedly seen many good ideas in the room in the last couple of days. Just think how many of those would be easier to integrate with if you had an open banking API platform on your bank. Yeah? The answer is at least some of them it would be much easier to integrate with. Today we're going to just show one application. It's a recent app on the Open Bank project app list. It's called Eva. It's a chatbot, a PFM solution, and it's pretty new, but I rather like the approach, the way you can have a kind of conversational dialogue with the app. You can also you can drill down and see spending and so on and so forth, nice graphics, but also there is some speech recognition.
What's my balance?
Your available balance is $14,163.83.
Okay, so in conclusion, Open Bank Project is an open source API platform especially built for banks. It's got everything you need to run your API program. We have 40 banking customers so far. You can use it to scale your partnership efforts. You can integrate to your core banking systems securely and quickly using our adapter technology. And yeah, that's about it. I've got 25 seconds. The only thing left to say is come to our booth. We have a Moog synthesizer which plays the API and then listens to the response and makes other notes. So come to our booth and see that. And yeah, that's great. Thanks a lot.